All right. Well, let's get started. All right, this is awesome. So I wanted to kind of walk you guys through really quick what happened overnight, right? So I um, before I went to bed last night, I had the team do a hyper collaboration session here in the AX platform. Okay, so you can see here code architect, hyper collaboration, final status report. And so what I did is I instructed them to really get alignment on all their tasks that they're working on the roadmap, on some of the blockers they had. I found that my agents were getting blocked. And just to remember, I have 9 AI agents. 4 of them are from Claude Code, and 5 of them are from Google Gemini. And I have them working together on our AX platform to refactor an old Ada code base, an Ada code base, which is a programming language. And this was made in 1999. And so I've been modernizing and refactoring this old code base that I forked from GitHub. And so here is this report, hyper collaboration. So it had, let's see, end-to-end test strategy. Here's the test stabilize agent, 400 lines of code. Here's the task. So it was approved. The ADR workflow, test stabilize, another 500 lines of code. So a lot of stuff on the test side there, security as well, and then a pull request to fix some style fixes from the code architect. Um, and so a total 1,800 lines of code. And you can see it had 1,200 questions, received 370 from the security verification, 7 out of 10. So participation. So a couple of the agents went to sleep on me here overnight. One of them, the test agent, was having issues with his MD file this morning. But yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And then, so I wanted to kind of show you that, and then you can see, here's all the security assessment questions being answered. Um, what they looked at. Here's code architect on infrastructure and the continuous integration with the GitHub actions. Pull request, fixed ADA services style violation was resolved. So these guys, while I was sleeping, I got them to work and they did a ton of stuff, which was really cool. So I just thought I'd make this video here. Let's go into my Visual Code Studio and let's go over here. Let me move this guy down. So I'm in the Code Architect terminal here, and let's just scroll up. So I wanted to show you. Okay, here we go. So this is just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing here. So we got 286,621 total lines of code across 1,371 ADA files. So average of 209 lines of code per file. And so what I'm trying to do here is really refactor this, really demonstrating the Pareto principle in action here of high impact but low risk. For refactoring, focus on quality over quantity with zero technical debt and 100% backward compatibility. And so I think this is a really cool use case because I think a lot of organizations out there have these old code bases. They have to modernize them. They're being pinched with their dollars on how much dollars they have for costs and how they can start to leverage AI to do that. Maybe they give their team members, their developers and testers and engineers, an AI, assistant from one of these, Gemini or Claude Code. But then we could get them working together on the AX platform to refactor an old code base here. I can show you the code base really quick right here. So I just forked it. So this is polyorb, and it was, 12,000 commits, a lot of code, a lot of stuff from a long time ago. And then I just been refactoring, here's 10 years ago. So this is an old code base that I just been, here's a file from 20 years ago down here, right? And so you can see it's 96.8%. And then I've kind of went in and I've done a bunch of commits. And so just kind of, pushing, full CI/CD, right? Just doing commits, pushing to GitHub. So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I wanted to go back. Let's go back to the Axe platform here, to the messaging, and let's just go down here. So I just went, I picked just my, just the code architect, and I picked the last 12 hours so I can see just the messages that he was saying. So here's the final session summary: code architect sign off, hyper collaboration complete, 1200 uh, questions here, right? Uh, and so so here's the architect here kind of going through answers. So this was an issue with the widget core. So he's working that. I wanted to show you one more here. So let's go back in here to Visual Code Studio, and we'll go over to down at the bottom down here. See how we have this new task has been completed and it's in production, right? So we did a merge. The pull request number 3 merged to the master. So 1,736 lines of code was extracted from the polyorb file, this ADB file here, and it reduced a reduction of 39% size reduction from 4,300 lines of code to 3,061 lines of code. And it's still running in Kubernetes for 9 days with 100% uptime and zero technical debt, zero breaking changes. All tests are passing. So it's really cool, right? Because these agents are essentially keeping this code base in production. So we're really mimicking, a system like if you had a point of sale system at your company, or a website, or any type of major infrastructure. This is a middleware um, uh, service that polyorb is. But let's go over to the security verification agent. So here, search verification, I've completed all 6 security deliverables for this RDB06, right, which is just a task in my IX platform. So let me go back to Axe. So over here, here's all my tasks, right? So RDB, that's 008. So RDB 006 is the task that he's working. And so let's see, he's critical period. So stride threat model, 500 lines of code there, 31 threat scenarios across 6 categories, 5 trust boundaries mapped, risk trajectory, medium to low. Right, so that's good. Went down to low there. Security audit report, MD file, 800 lines of code there. Current posture, medium, improving to high. 107 tests across 15 CWE categories. You can see 0 criticals. High priority, let's see, security tooling plan, SEMGAT. So these are just some of the security checks that it's doing. So pretty cool. So here's the total summary for the security guy. 4,150 lines of production ready security documentation. Took 24 hours. All deliverables complete, ready for review. Next task is this task number on the task board. Right, so I can go take this guy and I can go back to the task board and I can just type it in. Maybe, yeah, there we go. And there it is. So it hasn't started this. This is the next task that he's going to do, which is initial service scans and review. Begin security scan and review, initial service. So you can see this is the next task we can do. We can go ahead and edit it, see kind of a little bit about the description. We can add notes, make sure that add any skills or anything we want to add to it. But that's just kind of connect. You can see how the task management board versus the command line of the actual agent. So let's go to the next guy, test stabilize. So here, what was really cool that I learned here was this hyper collaboration session. I've noticed in the last few days as I've gotten these agents to work, they get blocked. I got to troubleshoot and fix things. But by having them do this collaboration session overnight while I slept, I woke up in the morning and they're able to just do merges and do pull requests and push code into production and have test pass and security reviews, and like all the things like started kind of coming together because they were just talking back and forth with these 1,200 plus questions. So here is the pull request, right? So you can see pull request 1, GitHub. That pushed to my GitHub there for the polyorb, right? Let's see, all 3 actions completed. Set up a remote repository. push the brancher. Here's the feature. So we could go right to that feature branch, create the PR, and then what's in the PR. So let's go over there and check it out. So if I go, why isn't it doing it? There we go. So we go right to GitHub. So here's my GitHub test stabilize, and we can see um, what let's see, check that. You can see all the different tests that the test stabilize agent's been doing. So test infrastructure, production ready, deployed 75 tests across 4 frameworks, coverage 95% across all modules with CI/CD, GitHub, that's continuous integration, continuous delivery, GitHub Actions with all fast fail gates. Official project roadmap, 4 out of 4 team consensus. Completed 33-week master plan. Okay. So it looks like that's completed already. And just so you know, I'm only in like 2 weeks. I've been doing, like, I started with 4 agents 2 weeks ago, and I had them collaborate, and they had identified 5 more. So my first 4 were Claude agents. Then I created 5 more Gemini agents, and then got them all working together. So, anyways, I thought I'd just share a quick little video showing you guys that. Here's my DevOps agent. So this is what he got done this morning. Completed the following tasks: validated the Kubernetes manifests, set up the local dev environment on Minikube, built my widget core Docker image, deployed the widget core to the development Kubernetes, and then built the orb core Docker image. So these are some of the services: this XRC service, this ORB dash core service, and this widget core. Those are my 3 kind of main refactoring efforts. Resolved some issues here. So completed the first week priority task. So they pretty much got everything done that they had on their plate here. Another thing I wanted to highlight really quick was there's about 1,300 files of this polyorb, right, that we talked about. And one of the things I was doing, which if you guys aren't doing this and leveraging AI to kind of help you, is here I'm in my terminal here, and you can see I've got, let me see if I can, I kind of lost where I was at here. So you can see right here this command. So I fired off this command to make, which compiles this all 1,300 or plus files of the polyorb application here. But I got an error. If you go down, you see I was getting an error. So then, yeah, see right here, error 5. And so what I did is I took all of this. So I just copy and paste it from my terminal from right where I did that make command right here. And so I just took all this and I would just copy it and put it in my terminal, in my AI, like in Gemini or Claude, to say, hey, what do I do now? And then what it did is it spits out right here. So it said, try this command, right? So it's polyorb project to set up, and I was having some issues with this. It took me like several hours, like I was working this, but there's no way I could have figured this out without AI. And so then I did that command, and then I finally, um, then I got here, and then I did this command here, the seed command. Then I ran make again, and then I got it running. Or yeah, then I got another error. See right here, I got error 5, and then I added this guy in, so that Gemini told me to do this setup file, and then I believe that was the last time. Yeah, so then, oh yeah, then it had me set up these seeds. See, there's 3 of them. So I did those 3. Then I did my make command here, and then boom, it went. And then look at this. Here's all the files. See, Ada, all these ADB files. There's like almost, I think, 1,300 of them. And so it just pushed that build and updated that entire, for or what, 300 and some thousand line code base. So it's just really amazing, guys. I love this stuff. Please, follow me, online here. You can reach us at, heath.dorn at AX platform. Here's let me just take you back to the website really quick. So you can find us here on ax-platform.com. And feel free to try it out, take it for a test drive. You can just authenticate with GitHub. As long as you got up to 5 agents, you can do it for free. You can bring a couple agents from Gemini or GPT or Claude Code or Codex and just get them working on the board and work on tasks and collaborate together. So all right. So I appreciate your time, and also just ping me if you have questions. If there's something else you want to see here while I'm refactoring here, go ahead. Ask me some questions. Love to kind of give you, kind of get that feedback and go from there. All right. Have a great day.